As I reach for a peach, slide her right down behind the sofa in Sound Tropez, breaking a stick with a brick in the sand, riding a wave in the wake of an old sedan, sleeping alone in the drone of the darkness, scratched by the sand that fell from my love. Deep in my dreams, and I still hear you calling. When you're alone, I'll come home. Etc, 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 etc. Okay, Sound Tropez. This is a tune from Pink Floyd's Meddle album, early 70s, I guess. Roger Waters' tune. It's a great old song. The first thing about this one is that it swings, doesn't it? So whether you're playing finger picking like I do or with a flat pick, the main thing is that you get that sort of feel with your right hand. One of the ways that can help you do that is making sure that you accent the second beat of the bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Okay. All right, to the song. Now it starts with a 5 chord, the D7 chord. Now I prefer to, you can of course play a D7 like that, straight across your 7th fret, or back here you can just play a D with middle string open and then the 2 top and bottom strings on the 2nd fret. If you want to play the full D7 though, a good voicing for that is with your little finger there on the bass on the 7th fret, 1st finger on the 4th fret in the middle, 2nd finger 5th fret on the top. You get more of that suspense from the 7th chord that way, yeah? And it leads us very nicely to the 1st chord in the tune proper, which is the G major 7. There, where you're just barring across just the top 2 strings on the 4th fret. That's a G major 7. Also makes it sound a bit jazzy as well as that swing feel. You got that note in the middle there, that major 7, that gives it that jazzy sort of sound. So you're swinging away on that for 3 bars. Yeah. So I reach for a peach, slide her right down behind the sofa in Sound Tropez. Then you go to a G minor 6 chord, which is just taking those 2 notes back to the next one here to the 3rd fret and the middle string to the 2nd fret. So you go to a minor 6 chord, which is also a jazzy sort of thing to do, isn't it? So you get this. So it's a great sort of little bit sort of psychedelic, little bit old school jazz. It's fantastic. It's ingenious, really. Anyway, that's how it goes. And the best way, I reckon, is not to count the bars, because it goes 3 there, 2 there, then 4 there, and 2 there. You don't want to be counting the bars. Just sing along with it. If you've come to this lesson, then you probably know the song already. It's a pretty obscure one. So just sing along with it, and you'll hear where those chord changes go. But anyway, it's 3 on the major 7, 2 on the minor 6, 4 on the major 7, 2 on the minor 6. Then to the chorus. I'll show you 2 ways to play the chorus. First with just your simple bar chords, so you can sort of hear how the root moves around, and then we'll have a look at some chords with some 7ths in them and stuff. Okay, it starts on the G. Standing alone in the drone of the darkness. So if I'm in G, I'm tuned to G, G, D, G. It's just open. Standing alone, drawn by the darkness, whatever. 2nd fret, A. Scratched by the sand that fell from my love. So you're not doing that ta 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 ta. Now you just go standing alone, drawn in the darkness, more or less just even all the way through. Scratched by the sand Fell from my love. Now to the C on the 5th fret. Sleep in my dreams and I still hear you calling. And then the 7th fret. When you're alone, I'll come home, home, home. And back to here again for the next verse. If you want to get a bit fancier with it, we've got some more interesting chords to play. Now, the G7 is 3rd fret there in the middle, 4th fret on top, which is cool because it's the same shape as the minor 6, but up one. So you finish the chorus there on the minor 6, and then you just move up to the 7. Finish the verse on the minor 6, and then you move up there for the major 7, 2 bars on that. Sleeping alone, drone in the darkness. Now the A7 chord's pretty easy too. You can play it like that with the 2nd fret on the bass, 2nd fret in the middle, and then the open string on top. There's a number of different ways to play that A7 chord. I'm not going to go through all of them now. That's an A7, and that one's perfectly acceptable. Then the C7, that's my preferred option for that one, which is like the D7 we looked at in the intro, with the little finger now on the 5th fret on the bass, 1st finger on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the top on the 3rd fret. Deep in my dreams, it's when deep in my dreams and I still hear you calling. Then move the whole thing up to the 2 frets to the D7, which is 7th fret, 4th fret, 5th fret. Deep in my when you're alone, I'll come home, home, home. Backwards and homebound, the pigeon and dove. Something about an airplane, I don't know. And that's the tune. Just have a listen to it for the arrangement, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. I think it is. It's pretty simple. If you want to do a solo, because of these, I'd suggest you just do 2 bars. I mean, you can do whatever you like, of course. But one way to do it is just 2 bars each on these great little jazz chords that play over the verse. The major 7 and the minor 6. They sound so great that you don't even have to play single notes. You can just play the chords and it still sounds cool, you know? Just mix up your rhythm. In fact, I'd suggest you start with that, because the main thing is your rhythm, isn't it? The main thing is you're picking and finding interesting ways to place the notes rather than picking which ones you want to do. If you do then decide to pick some notes apart from those chords, here's one way to do it. Over both chords, for the whole thing, you can play, of course, any of the open strings because it's all just in G. For any of them as well, you can play those 2 notes on the middle and top strings on the 2nd fret. For the first part of it, on the major 7 chord, you do the same thing on the 4th fret. And then the second part of it, on the minor chord, you just do those notes that are in the chord. So for example, okay, so that's da, 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 but just keep the chord. Okay, so that sounds a bit crazy, a bit lame really. Like that, I'm just going down the da, 4th, 2nd, open, and then 4th there, until you change to the chord. When it sounds exquisite then, doesn't it? Yeah, so that's it. That one was... what did I do there? I can't remember now. I just played the chord and then played down. 2nd fret open, back to the 2nd fret there on the middle. And really all you're doing is connecting things. Just play, after you've played one chord, decide for yourself, do I want to go up or down? If you say down, then go down. Go to the next note, and then the next one, until you reach the chord note again. And try to connect the 2 chords with melodic movements that are small. So connect that chord to that chord like this, or like this. You know what I mean? They're just some little soloing techniques. If you're not into that, it doesn't matter. Just have a go. As I always say, just have a go, right? Because you surprise yourself as to what you can do. Just play that chord for 2 bars, strum along, play that chord for 2 bars, strum along. Try some different rhythms, get the sound of those chords, the movement in your ear, and then just pick a few notes out of those ones that I showed you earlier. Tropez, great tune. Thanks a lot for the request for this one, everyone involved in that little discussion. And yeah, good luck. Great. See ya. Bye. Where's the button?